Hi guys, I'm Becca Otis from Five Lines Pottery, and I'm located in Van.
And I'm Ryan Durbin from RD Ceramics, located in Highland Heights, Kentucky.
And welcome to Wheel Talk. Hey everybody, just want to let you know that we are on to our part 2 for Tzipporah from Sipor Ceramics. And so if you haven't listened to the first part, you might want to go back and listen to the first part and then listen to this one. But Tzipporah is always lovely to talk to, so I hope you enjoy the episode. Bye! When do you move?
I'm moving on Tuesday.
Oh my gosh.
Today is Wednesday.
It's so close. So
6
close.
days.
How
Yeah.
was the shrinking the studio, getting out, like selling
Oh my,
everything? How emotional was selling the equipment?
so emotional. So I bought my wheel at the start of COVID, secondhand. I drove 2 hours each way to pick her up. It was a Clay Boss from Creative Industries before it was Speedball. And I love my wheel. And then I had a second one, acquired a second one from a friend who we bartered. And she had done pottery as a hobby as a high schooler. And it was actually the same, it was in her parents' garage. It was the same wheel, same age.
Oh, really? It had the
Yeah,
black splash pan and everything?
yep, same exact wheel.
Wow.
And it was used way less than the one that I kept as my primary wheel. And I still could not go to that like newer one, not newer, but less used one. I felt so much love for my first one.
Hmm.
So I used it for 2-on-1 sessions there, but I didn't really use it much after that. And then it was very emotional for me to sell, but I sold all my major equipment to people that I knew-ish. So my kiln I sold to someone who I had taught, a friend, Sheila, who I had taught in a studio. And then I had fired things for her. She bought my kiln. My second wheel I had sold to another friend who had taken actually my my first workshop, my first schmooze and throw.
Oh, really?
And then some other workshops following up. And so she bought the secondary wheel, and then my first wheel I sold on Marketplace. Very sad to let them go. And then it was a potter who we then connected on Instagram. So at least I know they're going to be loved.
Yeah.
It's wild, isn't it? Like, I just sold my wheel too, and it did not, I'm sure it did not make a very smooth entrance because it was in a box. And it was
Did it arrive
shipped.
safely though?
I mean, I think it has like a gouge out of the table, but the table was kind of shitty anyway. I did
Oh,
not
okay.
sell it for very much. I sold it for 400. It's probably worth 1,200. And but I was thinking about it the day that I sold, like the day that I shipped it out, and I was thinking about how happy I am that it's going to somebody who's so excited about what they're doing. Even if she's not like the most informed, she's so excited. Like she's a van lifer and she's finding wild clay and doing a pit fire and like just like she's elated. And I was like tearing up
Yeah,
thinking about, yeah, it's just wild.
it makes all the difference. The
And she's
person who
gonna have that
bought,
in her van?
No, on her property.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. I was like,
yeah,
that's not a
you had
very
spoken.
light wheel to move around.
I heard about that on another episode.
It was 150 pounds. Holy crap.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes all the difference. So the person who bought my primary wheel drove an hour and a half to pick it up. And I just stood on my front steps and watched them drive off, and I cried. Funny thing, we get attached to things, right? But it was very emotional, got rid of everything, feeling very excited to see kind of what my space is going to be like in order for me to create once we move. And once everyone's settled and everything. But Very grateful to have like the virtual things so that I don't feel like this space, this time out of my studio, I am like not, associating with anything clay or pottery related. I don't feel that. I still feel very connected, which is, I'm very grateful, to be,
Is
it was
there
a
a
lot.
slight break in there
Yes.
of your
So
workshops so that you're because you have to physically be there on every single one. You can't
correct.
you
No,
can't just
of
be like, hey,
course.
you show up and you're gonna do
Yeah,
the
you do the
thing.
thing.
It'll be
Well,
fine.
no,
And
because a big part of the hosting is that the potter who's teaching or, giving a lecture or whatever it is, doesn't have to look at the questions coming into the chat box. I am reading those questions out and I'm monitoring that and making sure everyone who has Q&A is going to be getting their questions answered. So I definitely have to be there. Yeah. So I had my last workshop last night with Isaiah Porter. He taught about trimming. He is so calming to watch him teach. He's a great teacher. So that was great. That was my last workshop until September. But I do have,
there's something before September though.
there is something very exciting
What's
that
before September?
I have a very exciting first time ever Sipor Ceramics virtual summit, for lack of better word. I couldn't come up with a more exciting name, but I called it Modern Clay, a live virtual summit. I feel like I need to put on a radio show host voice to do that.
And some black glasses.
Modern Clay, a live virtual summit.
Hosted by
Modern Clay.
Sipor Ceramics.
Live virtual summit.
Yeah.
Hosted by Sipor Ceramics.
Oh.
Featuring.
So let me tell you about the summit. This is very exciting. The summit is a day of learning. So it's 5 back-to-back live virtual workshops. You don't have to join all of them live, obviously. It's at 1 ticket price, a higher ticket price than my regular workshops. Obviously, it's 5 workshops. So there's a lot to unpack about it. It's 5 different topics, 5 different potters. I know them all, but I'm pulling up the website now anyway so that I can read it out. And
What's the date on it?
So it's August 11th. It's a Sunday. It's 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's 5 different artists. So first is Sandra Elder. She's teaching about throwing a large platter. She says she's going to teach you to be able to throw until your only limit is the size of your kiln.
A large platter. So not just a large platter,
No,
a large
like an
platter.
extra large platter. When you see the platter that she's holding in the picture, it's like her whole body. It's massive. And then, so that's going to be 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern time. So each of them is set at a 2-hour time frame. But you have access to the recordings of all 5 workshops for a year. So the second one is throwing a tea set, a traditional tea set with Will Talbot from Bell Hill Pottery. And then we have furniture building leather hard slabs with Kate Schrader. Will Donovan, who you brought up earlier, is teaching one on building a successful pottery business. And then Kevin Kowalski is teaching about mocha diffusion, a surface decoration technique. So it's going to be awesome. We've got amazing sponsors, which is so special. Giveaways from each of the sponsors: Hartley and Noble, Speedball Ceramics, Mako, and Clay King. So
nice.
it's pretty amazing. I'm crazy excited about it. And
how'd you decide you wanted to do it? Like, why now?
Why
you
now?
got the workshops going. You got the
So it
why
was really,
pile it all into one day? Why do that?
it was really because of the move, and knowing that I was going to have a lot of time that I couldn't do the workshops, but I was going to need the income because we've always struggled financially, and so making such a big move, and this being my source of income, I was like, I wonder if we can come up with a way. And Ryan, you were very instrumental in a lot of the planning and the ideas and the back and forth, the business ideas and everything.
I was telling you to think about it and do it in 2025. I was like, oh yeah, you should like spitball it, like think about it and maybe do it in 2025.
And then
you're
I
like,
was
no,
like,
I'm doing it in August.
and then I was like, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. And then I just started reaching out to artists, and it's a little bit of a different model. I am paying the artists up front for their time, but there is, opportunity for them to earn more with the coupon codes that each of the artists has a coupon code. I don't actually want anybody to buy the workshop ticket full price. Each artist has a coupon code that gets you 15% off, and then they get a portion of each
What's
ticket.
the full price ticket cost? I'm gonna say
$170.
I'm gonna say $40 a workshop, 5 workshops. It should be $200 value if
So
it was the same
it's
as
one,
ones, right?
right. So it's 170, and then it goes down to 144 with the 15% off. So each artist has a coupon code, and if you use their coupon code, then they get an extra chunk of that ticket.
Have you sold a bunch of tickets already?
Well, I sold a few, which is amazing. And I think that it's a bigger amount of money than $40. And so people need to think about it and hear about it. I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be really amazing. It's going to be 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. my time.
It's gonna be a long day.
So
Long 2 days.
I'm going to be sleep training myself to be on a different time zone in the days leading up, and I'm probably going to get myself a hotel room and be able to kind of keep myself awake.
Great internet connection.
Yeah. So that's gonna be tricky, but I really felt like the timing worked for being able to do this during a transition period in my life. And I felt like summer's a good time for people to focus on learning. It's like right before the holiday rush.
That's kind of before a lot of school. I don't know
August
when
11th,
schools
schools
go
haven't
in.
started. No, schools haven't started yet.
Yeah.
And yeah, and also when I get excited about something, I just want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing it's kind of there's some incentives with the artist to help market it because they got a little skin in the game to use the
It's a
coupon
little
codes
less,
and all that.
it's less than with the regular workshops because I am paying each artist for their time. So everyone's getting paid already. I don't know that I mean, I don't know. I don't want to speak for them, but it may have taken a little bit of that pressure off, which I'm glad to do because I don't want anyone to feel like their time is not being valued ever.
Yeah. And it's not the same sell. Like they're not just selling their workshop. They're selling a big ticket.
Yeah.
That's for 4 people that are not them.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Plus them.
Okay, so some of you guys know that I've been working on.
That's
My bad.
Becca.
Yeah. So it'll be, you know what? I have a number in my mind of how many tickets I'd love to sell. If I don't meet it, that's okay. This is the first time I'm, doing something as ambitious as this.
Do you want to share the number?
Sure.
So it's public and then you can be like, did I hit it or not?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, what's your La La Land number?
No, this is not my La La Land number. This is my goal. This is my goal. My goal is to sell 100 tickets.
Yeah, I think I had that in my mind. Maybe you
Okay,
told
what's
me
your
that,
La
but
La Land number?
I don't know, girly. 500? I don't know. It's 5 artists. If each artist could bring in 100, if we could get 100 for each, that would be amazing. But, I'm not anticipating. I'll be very surprised and very, very, very happy if I meet my goal of 100 tickets sold. It's a bigger ticket item, so I don't expect,
yeah.
that to happen easily. But we'll see.
It gets you to think creatively about how to market it and
Yeah.
Collaborate with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Did you participate in one of the virtual conferences? Did you do Ceramic Con? Is that which one you
I
did? Or did you
did. I
do one of the
did.
other ones? I know
I
there's a
did
few out there, but
yes. So I did Ceramicon with Elizabeth. She was great. She had a beautiful model as well. And it was similar in ways. And I had reached out to her and told her, that I was doing something like this. And I don't, I would never want somebody to think I'm taking an idea from them or something. So I had done that, and she was so sweet and generous, and was just like, good luck with it, and it's gonna be great. Yeah, that was great. I did do Ceramicon with her with a bunch of other artists, wonderful artists. Um, it's similar, different. Hers was all recorded, pre-recorded. Your ticket got you recorded access to all of them, but it was many more workshops. I think it was 18 workshops. This is 5.
Yeah.
That's
And
a
this is
lot.
also live. You have the opportunity to join live for
This
one.
seems a lot less overwhelming.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. That's overwhelming to me.
Yeah, it was a lot of work, I'm sure, for Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of artist communications and all of that. I couldn't even
Mhm.
imagine like timelines of get the recording to me by this date and like in this format. And
Yeah,
there's people that probably won't give it to you that date, and then you got to hound them. And
exactly.
you're trying to promise a certain topic and quality, and then it's going to be this long. And yeah, I'm sure there's a
Yeah,
lot goes into that.
yeah.
I
Yep.
know that if I did something like that, like if I was the organizer of that, nobody would like me afterwards.
The
I'd
hound.
probably be, yeah, I'd probably be like, if you don't get it to me by this date, you're not in it. I'm
Well,
just gonna publicly be like, sorry, couldn't get me the video on time.
I feel a little aggressive sometimes when I'm reaching out to my artists and I'm like, all right, guys, all right, so and so, it's 3 weeks before your workshop. Like, might be a good time to start advertising for it. Okay, it's 10 days away. You haven't posted anything. Want to share something?
Mhm.
Your workshop's tomorrow. Maybe talk about it on your stories. I feel a little nudgy.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what my favorite like icebreaker is to me being like, bitch, let's go, is or like, where are you on this, is I always say, what's your status, Power Ranger? And I always like add Power Rangers or Star Wars into it, so it just sounds like I'm being
Little,
funny.
yeah, a little less aggressive.
Yeah.
That's nice of you.
Do you have different names of like I don't know the characters, but you'd be like what's your status, Obi-Wan or something? Is there somebody that's like a little bit like flighty,
No,
so you just like call them that
no.
name? You're like,
I'm usually just like, I usually say Power Ranger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it's
no.
part of the marketing though. I've like found myself to be more of a marketer now more than ever, especially without a wheel. So,
yeah.
but it's been it's been good.
How does it do you feel like you're just does it make it tough with your Instagram now because
Yeah.
you don't have your own making content as much? I mean, unless you batch it and say
Yeah.
some old stuff, but how do you
I did.
are you just like coming to terms with, hey, this is where my income comes from, so I have to do, the marketing and
I'm trying really hard to strike a balance, or juggle both of them. Probably more accurate to say. Definitely there's a lot of content about other artists' workshops, but I do have a ton, a bank of videos that I have recorded over the last, 6 months that I intend to use once I have 5 seconds to sit down and edit videos. And post stuff there. So my own will be interspersed because for me, a big part of doing these workshops began from me wanting to continue teaching, but with the flexibility of teaching from my home and meeting the needs of people who aren't necessarily in a community studio space. So if you're learning from home, I want to teach you from home, and we're like in this virtual community together. So if I want people to trust me that I can teach them, I need to be sharing teaching things, you know what I mean?
right.
So I do want to intersperse that if I can. I'm trying, I'm
Yeah.
trying.
Maybe you've got some little trailers from your old workshops where you could take some of your project focused ones, you can clip them up and
Huh.
be like, we're gonna do What are you all interested in? How do you feel about
That would
yeah.
be a great idea. If only I had
Yeah.
somebody to edit my videos for me.
I wonder how long that would take.
Probably all along. Just so
You've got
long.
multiple camera views. When you do
I
your project focus ones, do you have two different views where you have a front facing and like a focused one?
I do.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's really fun because the project focused ones are a small group. So everyone's unmuted and asking questions all the time.
Mm.
It's
I feel like there's
really
some content in some. I mean, it's gonna take forever for
there.
you to dig through those videos and
It
like
would, but I
find the
should.
snippets, but I don't know.
I should do it. You're right.
I don't know. Like, how do you? Because just like the topics for guest artists, project focused ones, it's like, how do you know what's worth doing and what people are interested in versus just putting it out in the ether and being like, what do you want to learn? And some of
So,
those fall flat when you ask that
oh
and they're
yeah.
like, okay, you got to actually pay for it now. And you're like,
As
where
we
you at?
as we've established, I like to just try things and see if they stick, throw it at the wall and see what sticks. So I have put up project focused classes for things that I didn't sell a single spot for. And I was just like, I'm taking this down. I'm not, this is just sitting here. I don't want to get like one student on one random class, the day before. It's just what would happen, if I just leave this up. So,
I have an idea.
oh,
I think maybe you can test this without even mentioning to people, without putting all the work in. I wonder if you could put, I don't know if you have a separate area for project focused classes or not on your website.
I did.
Okay. So I'm picturing you put just a thumbnail image that says coming soon with a title of a class, and then you can track like clicks on that to see how many people are interested in clicking on it. And then
Ooh.
you're just gauging interest. You're not, if you want, you can maybe get them added to your mailing list and you can capture which thing they came from. Like maybe they came from
Yeah.
a bowl one or whatever. And you're just using it to get data around which ones people are most clicking on.
Wow.
And maybe
That's a
that's a
great
way for
idea.
you not to actually have a class planned with a date and everything, but you're just saying, project focused oil bottles coming. You just maybe put coming soon,
Yeah.
and you're just kind of using it to test the waters a little bit.
I love that idea.
And maybe you don't even have to tell people like you're doing it, but just do it to see if people are engaging with it.
Yeah. That's a great plan. I'm
Because
gonna do that.
it's kind of like a neutral way to get feedback that's not so pick from a poll of four
Yeah.
options and pick your favorite because I don't know.
I did that. And then I made a class option for that. And then it fell flat.
It's so hard to know what
It
people
is
are
hard to
actually going to
know.
pay for.
Yeah, it's hard to know, but it's okay. Like I don't mind the trial and error. It doesn't like deflate me. It kind of like it directs me. All right, so that didn't work. Now I know I gotta go this way.
Hmm.
Um, so I'll try it. It's a good idea. Once I get closer to having like a wheel access, I'll do that.
Yeah.
What's the plan for when you move? Like, what do you have a plan for, like having a studio space? Do you want to do pottery ever again? Like, what's the plan?
First of all, don't take my joy away from me. It's a good question. I used to think that I wanted to open my own studio space, but I have loved doing these virtual workshops so much and like offering that like accessibility to people from wherever they are that I don't think I want my job to be like managing a community studio. I don't want it. I don't want to deal with it. The cleanliness, the management, the cleanliness, the like, making sure everybody's paying, the
The
cleanliness,
overhead,
the overhead, like the
something about
cleanliness,
mopping and
the
cleaning. I don't know.
strangers, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. So I would love to have a space in my home. So we're moving from a house to an apartment. So we're downsizing. And
With four kids.
with 4 kids, yes, ma'am.
You
Uh,
get that corner, you get that corner, you get that corner, you get that corner.
that's right. All we need is a litter box, and
Yeah.
we're good to go. Um, So we're downsizing to an apartment. There's a porch. There's two porches actually. So I'm hoping that one of the porches will be where my wheel will go. I don't know what I'm gonna do about a kiln yet. I'm still not thinking about it yet.
There may
But
be a small kiln on the market that may work.
oh, can you just
I
take a
don't
second and tell
know.
me more about that?
I don't
Is
know.
there?
Becca's used it. I haven't used one yet.
I have used it.
It's in the mail, I think.
Ooh.
I have used it. It's the L&L plug-in fire. It's great.
How many firings have you done in it so far?
5.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
would-
I've done little ones, but the first time I fired it, I was like, why is this taking such a long time? Because I like just set it on a normal one and I put it on the table over here, plugged it into an extension cord, and didn't even think about it. And then I was like, why is this taking such a long time? And Eric feels the extension cord and he's like, yeah, this is pretty hot.
Yeah.
That's pretty but then we plugged it into the wall and it's
Yeah.
been firing great ever since. I got one, I think I did one firing in 3 hours and 50 minutes.
Dang. A
What?
glaze fire or a bisque fire?
No, it was a bisque, but it was a re-bisque, so it was a fast bisque.
Oh, okay.
Super fast bisque. And
Wow. That's
but
pretty
yeah,
fast.
it's
Quick.
so wild. It's like wild to me having had the firebox for such a long time, the Scut firebox, that I'm just so used to being like, well, good luck. Like, hope it hits cone 6. You know, like, or I don't know what cone it's gonna hit, but having this one, it's like you can put all the things in, you can see how much it costs, you can
Wow.
say you can like do specific things in the firing. I mean, with it's literally a kiln. Like the firebox is kind of like a slip-on shoe, you know? It's like, yeah, it's a shoe, but you slip it on.
Yeah.
And then like an actual kiln is like a tennis shoe.
Yeah. You're
And
not
I
walking
feel like
45 flights of stairs worth in a slip-on.
Gone.
right,
Yeah.
and a slipper, you know, like, and this is more like a tennis shoe than it is a slipper. Like, yeah, it's small, but it does everything that you need it to do.
Wow, that's
It's
awesome.
it's totally cool. Like, you know, like we've been talking about it for so many months, and I was like, yeah, this is gonna be great, blah blah blah. And then when I got it, I was like, wow, this is great.
It
Well, you know
actually
all the
is.
features of
Yeah.
it. It's like, you know
Yeah.
all the ins and outs of it. You're just waiting to actually see it in person and try it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. The one thing that I will say, I feel like nothing is perfect, right? In this world. There's 2 things that I personally am not a fan of. And it's not really anybody else's concern, honestly. I feel like one thing is that I am right-handed and I'm impatient, so I like to lift up the lid and pull things out, and the handle's on the right side. So, honestly, if you're left-handed, this kiln is great for you. So, because you have to lift up the lid with your right hand and reach in with your left to like if it's hot, you
Oh,
know, if
the
you're gonna
handle's not opposite the hinge.
it's no, it's on the right side. It's on the right side. So
Okay.
like I could move it if I wanted to. I could just unscrew it and move it to the other side if I wanted to. But like that is purely
Mhm.
my opinion, you know, and like not based in fact or anything like that. The other thing is that it's heavy. I mean, and then we knew it was going to be heavy. It's bigger. It's twice as big as
Yeah.
the other one. And I think for my purposes, I will probably attach a latch to it at some point when I move it the first time. What I love about it is that the stand that it sits on, you can flip it over and put the kiln in the stand.
Mm.
So you don't have to worry about it like getting hit on the bottom. But it's 2 pieces. So when I'm driving, I think that I'll probably have to put the base on top of the lid. And I'm thinking that I'll probably figure out how to like have, like the clamps that they have on some of
Mhm.
the kilns. I'll probably do that,
Does the lid have a
but
clamp
just
on it though? Kind of like mine does,
no,
my new one? Oh, okay.
the lid doesn't have a clamp, but I'll probably put a clamp on the side just for when I'm driving. It's safe,
Yeah, so it's not getting jostled and
yeah.
brick rubbing on
But
brick and stuff like that.
I can't comfortably pick up both pieces at the same time. You have to move one piece and then the next. So,
Hmm.
so I'm glad they put the handle in it. That's all I gotta say.
That's probably why they ship it in 2 boxes too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's heavy. I mean,
Mm,
like, it's supposed to be heavy. It's 3-inch brick.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if they wanted it to be a hope you make it type of kiln, it would have been 2 inches of brick.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They wanted it to be a kiln. They would
Yeah,
like
so
it to be a tennis shoe.
And they've succeeded.
And they've succeeded.
by the way, completely
So,
side point, off topic. Tennis shoes. I just got on clouds. I know Tzipporah, you were talking about getting new shoes and stuff, and you're trying to figure out the shoes. I don't know if you ever had on clouds, but
I tried them
they're
on,
pretty
but
good.
you have to have narrow. They're narrow.
Well, the first size that I got was too small, so I just sent them back and I got the next half size up, and they fit perfect. That's what I used in
Mm,
Europe, and they were great. So
yeah.
I love them.
Everyone around me is wearing them. It's funny because I'm not,
I've
I
never
guess
wore
I'm
them
like,
before that or had any, but
did you take time to break them in before your trip or?
I probably wore them for 2 weeks before the trip.
Okay.
I was just kind of walking the
oh,
neighborhood.
Yeah.
on Cloud Nova, those look like New Balance shoes.
I don't know which specific brand
That means they look
version
like
I
a
got, but
grandpa wears them.
Well, that's
not
sneakers.
the specific one. I don't know which one you're talking about, but
I'm just looking at On Cloud.
Yeah, I've heard that they're amazing. They just run a little narrow for me. I've got wide feet.
yeah.
I do
Yeah.
too.
I got Hoka's.
Yeah, I don't think they have. I don't know. Is that just women's shoes that they offer wide,
No,
or is that pretty standard? Because
no,
I didn't see that they had.
no, I don't think this brand makes wide.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Switzerland or something like that.
I am pissed. The colors for women are so much worse than the colors for men. Like,
Oh.
what the fuck?
Mine are pretty cool. Mine's got some blue and light green, I
Yeah,
think.
you got the men's one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bullshit. That's some straight bullshit.
I hate it when they do that.
I mean, like, also, all the colors are kind of garbage anyway, but like,
I don't know if I mean Becca, you probably know. I never buy shoes. Like I never buy
yeah.
tennis shoes, so I've been overdue. I wear this. I've had some of these pair of shoes that I like still wear for like 6 or 7 years, like 8 years.
Wow.
Like I don't wear new.
I don't, my shoes never last that long.
I don't get new
Never.
shoes.
My,
I'm very
well, I mean, but like these shoes are 2 months old.
Yeah, I'm also very hard on my shoes.
Like they're already curved.
Mm-hmm.
They smell
Yeah.
bad too.
Mm. I have like two types of shoes that well, especially in warm weather, that I'm between. It's like similar to Birkenstocks or the Teva like strappy sandals. So like
Okay. I got Teva.
yeah.
I got like the fancier ones because I was like, I'm going to Disneyland and I'm going to use these shoes. And then they gave me blisters and I like rarely wear them. And because every time I wear them, they gave me blisters. And I'm like spent money on them. Like, I don't spend money on shoes unless I know I'm going to wear them all the time.
Oh, I love my Tevas. I wear them always. Why did they give you blisters? Well, I'm sure you like tried adjusting the straps and everything.
Yeah, it's like these ones are like hiking ones.
Yeah, I know. Those are the ones that I have. They have like a thicker sole.
And they have like the rubber on the joints.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they're giving. Maybe I'll try them again. Maybe I need to like break them in with like socks or something.
Maybe it's worth trying.
I mean, I wore them to
Five.
Disneyland that was why I wore them, but I wore them beforehand to get like, you know, them broken in. And I'm just like so bummed. And now I see all the cool Tevas with like the thin straps and they're so cute. And I'm like, I could never wear those. But these were only $15 at Costco. So, you know, what
Oh,
are you
that's
gonna do?
Tevas were
These
the original ones that had the actual toes, right?
no, I don't think so.
Where you could fit
toes?
your toes in them, and they were like hiking where you can actually go in mud and all that. You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
I thought those
But
were
I don't
Tevas.
think Teva's
No?
had them.
Or Tevas, whatever it is.
I think it's
Are you
Teva.
are you sure it's Teva?
Should we Google this?
Are you just saying that because you're of a certain descent?
Oh, of a certain descent. Can you hear
Of a
this?
New Jersey
Teva.
descent?
Can you hear? Teva.
Well, did you ask somebody that works there?
I Googled how to pronounce Teva. Teva.
Teva.
Teva.
Well, I guess Tevo would be two E's, right? Like
Oh my
t-shirt.
God. Oh, are you ready for this?
Well,
Information on Teva and our products. How do you pronounce Teva? Teva is pronounced Teva with a soft E. Teva is the Hebrew word for nature.
Yeah, I could have told you.
See, I knew it. I knew it had to do something with the fact that
With
it was
my
the Hebrew word.
descent. Nothing to do with my descent. Yes, I obviously knew that. Tevas are made, it's a company that started in Tel Aviv.
Oh, that's cool.
Teva.
Mhm.
Okay. No.
That's
So
really
wait,
cool.
were they the ones that have the little toes? Do you know
I
what I'm
don't
talking
think they ever did the toes.
No, you're talking about the barefoot shoes
Correct.
with the
Like the
little
barefoot
toes,
toe shoes, not just
the
the
toe shoes.
that everybody's wearing now that are like grounding shoes.
Yeah. I had the toe shoes. One time I was in Boston and I was walking to like near Harvard and my shoe broke, obviously. And so I had to find shoes so that I could walk back because it was like a mile. I probably in hindsight should have and could have walked in my like barefoot. But I found some of those toe shoes in the clearance aisle and they were one size too small and I made them work for years.
No way.
I
Vibram, I
did.
think, is the most popular one.
What's the brand?
Vibram. And the Vibram, Vibram. I don't know if that's how you say it, but
Also, they were bubblegum pink and they were gross as shit
they
when
call
they
them
got like
five
dirt on them.
fingers.
Five
Five
fingers.
fingers.
So why'd you buy them? Was that the only shoe that was available?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
That cost less than like $50.
Were they comfortable?
They were okay, but they were a little too small. Um, I got blisters on the back where the strap was. I think that if
Mm,
they were the right size, that I probably wouldn't have gotten the blisters on the back. But
Mm.
yeah, I apparently just get blisters in shoes.
Rachel was getting so many freaking blisters. She had
Oh,
like 5 or 6 blisters.
that's awful.
I'm just like a blister bitch,
Oh,
man.
make a t-shirt.
Well, she didn't want to go with tennis shoes because she's got like high arches as well. I
Yeah.
don't know how that affects it,
You
but
should try Tevas.
she was
Yeah.
going she wears her
Oh,
like Croc sandals that are pretty like versatile, I guess. Not like original Crocs, but like nicer looking Crocs. And a couple pair, but she's getting stuff on like the back and like between toes, and I'm like, I'm like, wouldn't
I
tennis shoes
should
be
have
better? But she's like, you're gonna get blisters I'm gonna get blisters regardless. So like, why? I don't know.
Yeah,
Like
it's
the
I
hard.
should have
socks
given
that
her
are
my
to
shoes. She could have worn my Tevas.
Yeah. They're good I like them. I have a high arch too. I love them. They're really comfortable. Also, my toes like to breathe. So,
I mean, my feet were pretty gross wearing the
yeah. No
tennis shoes
thanks.
all week, 2 weeks, walking all day. But
That's a lot.
I mean, I wouldn't want to be walking around with blisters. That would suck.
Oh my gosh. I'm on the Teva site right now, and there's a Cotopaxi one and it's only $30.
Ooh. I got
Taxi.
Did
a
you guys
pair.
know that this is now a shoe podcast?
Start with the litter, and then we get to the shoes.
Now you know. Yeah.
You know what? I feel like at this point, though, we're 5 years in. I think that honestly, I've been telling Ryan this whole time, actually, but honestly, I think that people love it when we do this, just like we just talk about random shit,
Side
you know?
tangents. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get a little informal ad in the mix, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was not sponsored, by the way. I would never say anything bad about them when they're sponsored. Not that I did say anything bad, but
I mean, it is technically a sponsored episode, so are you gonna
Well,
keep that as the ad, or are we gonna add one in the
I don't
middle?
know. I mean, it was a pretty good ad.
it
I mean,
was.
the only thing we didn't say was where they need to find it. I mean, Becca, where do they go? Or
Tips.com.
Can you hit us with that one more time?
Tips.com.
That was great.
that was
And
great.
for anyone who's, downsizing to apartment living, this kiln would be great for that.
It would. It would be great for that. Um, hell
If,
yeah.
as long as they have the right outlet. I don't do you think they would do that?
No, it's
They
just a
probably could do
regular
that.
outlet.
Well, if it's not a
Oh, it's
US
a
outlet
US.
though,
Yeah.
Yeah, you could transform it. Well, I wonder what kind of power circuits they have.
you could probably get them. I'm sure they would probably swap it for you.
Wired, yeah.
They could probably do that. Becca, do you know what Tzipporah and I, we re-listened to the episode, right? The
Mm-hmm.
last episode.
Oh
Do you want to
God.
know a question that you asked in that episode?
Oh
Do you
God.
remember?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you.
I asked a lot of
it
questions.
was an off-topic question, and you said, "Do you think
Well,
I can pull off being bald?"
I feel like we need to set the scene for a second. Just just to set the scene, you were in your van. It was dark everywhere except for light directly on your face, and we could not see your hair. And you noticed that.
I did.
And you were
And
like, "I have a question, completely off topic, but do you think I can pull off being bald?"
and then
I
and then
stand by that.
we discussed.
Okay, low key though, this is kind of sad, but kind of not. Well, it is sad. Anyway, I have a friend who has recently had breast cancer. Um, Deb from who makes the nuggets.
Yes.
Yeah. So Deb had breast cancer and she had a double mastectomy. Everything went fine, for the most part. And then they thought that she wasn't gonna have to have chemo, but she turns out she was. And last night she was doing like an update. She had her first session of chemo. And the whole time Deb has had cancer, I think it's because my family is like, my mom had breast cancer when I was 3. It's just there's a lot of cancer in my family. And so it's kind of like it's
You can
like you
find
don't,
light points
yeah,
somehow.
you can find like funny things about it and weird things, and like the first time, um, she was like, I have breast cancer. And I think the first thing I said was, you gonna chop them off? And she was like, yep. and then last night when she was like talking about her chemo on her stories, I texted her and I was like, are you gonna be bald? Because I feel like you'd be a hot bald lady. And she was like, hell yeah, I am, and I'm looking forward to it.
I mean, it kind of fits. I mean, all of her nuggets are bald, right?
It's true. She's
Oh,
such a light and happy person. I can't imagine her being bald will literally make her be like, I hope she shines her head.
shines it. It's a lot of work if the hair is growing back in to keep that head
Mm-hmm.
shiny. But if the hair is not growing back in while she's having chemo,
Yeah,
it could be shiny.
Wow.
could be.
Mm.
So has there been any change in that feeling of pulling off being bald since last August, Becca?
I don't think I could do it. I just saw a video yesterday, and I think that, well, my forehead's pretty high anyway. I have a pretty high forehead. I feel like me and Sipor have the same. Take off your hat, Ryan.
Ryan, take off your hat. Let's compare foreheads.
Get close.
This is why we need snippets of this podcast on.
I would say that Ryan's forehead is the smallest forehead. Mine is the glassiest finish.
I don't have direct light on it. I bet if I did.
Tzipporah's is probably the biggest, but mine's a close second.
Thanks.
What? It's
Mine-
true.
glassy
God,
now?
my head is so shiny. Maybe I should go bald.
I do have a big forehead.
So you get a spotlight right
You're
above
not
you.
wrong.
Could you imagine if I went bald and I had freckles all on my whole head?
Probably do.
Does that happen?
I don't know.
Sure.
Hey everybody, hope you're enjoying the episode so far. We're going to take a quick break and talk a little bit about L&L kilns. So if you didn't know, you can go to the support section of the website and they have a bunch of information. There's a bunch of how-to videos, whether you're installing your kiln, you're doing maintenance on it, you're looking up like how to ventilate it. If you've got error codes with your controller, so even if you don't have a Genesis controller or you have a Bartlett controller on whatever kiln you have, they have the error codes on there and you can find all that info. And basic maintenance, all that stuff is on there. So even if you don't have an L&L, there's still a lot of useful information on there. They've been putting a lot of time and effort into making these videos very helpful. They've got instruction manuals and everything like that. So if you're interested, go to L&L Kilns at hotkilns.com and go to the support section. Thanks so much, and let's get back to the episode. Actually, I think I might have seen someone with freckles on their head like that.
Yeah.
You could pull off bald if you had a beard.
I could.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you have to have a good. This is a good length. I feel like the glasses also help. If I didn't have glasses, it would maybe look a little weird, but
Yeah.
There's for sure a filter,
oh yeah, there's filters for everything.
TikTok or something, where you can see how you would look bald.
I mean, shit.
Honestly, the glasses add. Like I think if you didn't wear glasses and you were bald, not as much. Like glasses, I feel like
Glasses
give you the
definitely.
character. They help.
I agree. I think that I mean we know our fair share of bald people, and Joshua Heim, and he has glasses, and I can't imagine him without glasses. It'd
And-
have to be.
And a bald head.
Get that character, get the fancy glasses.
Mhm.
I mean, you can get funky glasses for really not fancy, as Becca and I know.
Right,
We buy them cheap.
right. And they're actually honestly quite sturdy.
Yeah.
Very impressed.
Yeah, I have like a bunch of pairs. I buy them all cheap, and like so I don't feel sad when they break, and they do break.
Yeah.
But
We're talking about Vooglam, by the way.
well,
for all of
I
those.
have tried many websites actually. Vooglam most recently, where we have our matching glasses from.
Oh,
I've gotten from these are from these might be from Vooglam also.
I think they
And-
are.
And then I've gotten from Zelul.
How do you spell that?
Z-
Zelo?
Zeellool.
Wow.
And I've gotten from iBuyDirect.com. I've gotten from Zenny and from there's another one.
Zenny just didn't have the colors I wanted.
Yeah,
Oh,
these are
that's
Zenny.
fine.
I'm kind of simple. I'm a simple man. I just get Zenny.
I'm a simple man.
Don't. No, you're not.
What about good? Did you ever get any gooder ones, Tzipporah? That's where Becca's got some before.
That's where I started getting mine, Gooder.
Good or no? Never tried them.
So, well, the thing about Gooder is that you have to buy the glasses and then you have to go take them
No.
into.
Nope. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Hard
Because
pass.
they're
Yeah.
typically sunglasses, right?
Nope. It's a no for me.
It's gonna be a no for me.
Yeah.
Dog.
No. I
Gonna be a
need,
no for me, dog.
yeah. I need as easy as possible.
You know that Tevas have a slip on?
They've got a lot of shoes. They've got hiking boots.
I'm looking at them.
Mm.
Yeah.
They've got a high platform. Wow.
Yeah,
Gross.
that one looks like it would look cute and not be practical. I would fall.
I personally think that high platforms look ridiculous. Redonkulous. Ridiculous.
I think it looks cute, but not practical.
Feels like a bunch of extra weight. You're talking about a tennis shoe with
No,
platform
like a
or
sandal. It's their regular, like
oh,
the regular Teva sandal, but with a higher, thicker platform.
are your feet encompassed in those or is it still like a thong sandal?
Yeah.
No. There's a strap on the back.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's their standard strap. It's not like a flip-flop,
Hmm.
I
but
kind of want this
Yeah,
all
those
gender
high
re-ember.
remember.
Yeah, it's like a clog that you can like flip the back down so you can just slip them on, but they're still shoes. That
Yeah.
seems like my speed.
Hmm.
For being a very slow person, I have an awfully fast shoe situation.
You mean like
Always,
cycling in and out of shoes pretty
Well,
quickly? Like getting
no, I
new
mean like
pair?
I gotta get the shoes on quickly. Like I'm not gonna sit down and put my shoes on. They gotta flip on,
um,
get out. I'm not gonna tie some fucking shoes.
yeah, I know what
No,
you mean.
thank you.
Yeah. My kids are all like that, and I try to get them to get slip-ons, but like slip-on sneakers, but the younger two, they're fine with it, but the older two are like, this is nerdy. I don't want this anymore. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, but you're slipping on your tying sneakers and you're ruining them.
Right.
Are they ruining them or is it just a fashion choice?
No, it's not a fashion choice.
I
You're ruining their sneakers.
was that kid. I was the kid that had
I did that
Converse
too,
high
some.
tops
That you slipped
and
on.
yep.
Yeah, so that's my boys. They tie them once and then they just slip them on forever until the
Yep.
shoe falls apart.
I
Welcome to
used
the
to
rest of their
do when
life.
I was a teen, I would like tie them, but make the shoe very loose, and then I would tuck the thing behind the tongue, and they would just be very loose, so it wouldn't be like a tight
You
slip.
can't play sports in loose
No,
sneakers.
you can't do that, but like going to school or whatever, you
Yeah,
just kind of do that. But
yeah, yeah. I don't love sneakers though. I need the open toe. I much prefer it. That's why we're moving somewhere warm.
I have a
That's right.
question.
I want to know the temps. I'm gonna go look.
Go look at the tent.
So I have a question. So you're moving next week.
Yes.
By the time that this releases, you will be in your new home.
Yes.
Would you like to share where you're moving and why you decided to go there?
Sure. So, dramatic pause. As we
I mean, you would have shared it publicly on Instagram by
I'm
this
gonna
time,
have
but
shared it already on Instagram by the time this airs. Yeah. I have not shared where I'm moving on Instagram yet. And by the time this shares, I will have this launches or goes live, whatever. So we're moving, as we've established already, I'm Jewish. In our last episode, we spoke a little bit about Judaism. That was really fun. I love sharing about it. Love hearing questions and talking about it. And we are moving to Israel. We have lived there before. My husband and I lived there when we first got married. We moved back after I had my first kid. I wanted to be closer to family, and we've always wanted to go back. So 10 years ago, we moved back to the US. And for 10 years, my husband's been ready to step on a plane, and I have been hesitant. And over the years, it's become, like closer and closer to the right time for us. And we made the decision about a year and a half ago now. And we're going next week.
Yeah, long time
wow.
coming.
Very, very, very long time coming.
Yeah.
Do you think this will be the last move?
Definitely the last, big move. I assume we will move within Israel after this, because we're moving to a city. And while I still love the downsides, everybody does. It's a really special country, for a lot of reasons, but everyone lives on less. Everyone's happy with with less. It's a simpler life.
Mhm.
So like the apartment living is not something that bothers me at all, but I would love to be somewhere a little bit more surrounded by nature. We're going to a city, even though it is like not one of the major cities. It's not Tel Aviv or Jerusalem. We are going to a city, and so it's going to be city life, which is going to be really nice. But I think we'll probably move within Israel
Hmm.
after that.
Yeah.
I have
Get a
no
little
idea what
land
the city
somewhere.
life is there, but like just recency wise, being in Spain,
Yeah,
Portugal, living in these little, not little, but they're like rental units that are condos, sort of like realizing that not having to care for a yard and having a bunch of square footage and having a bunch of
Mhm.
tools and having a bunch of like you're happy with bathroom, bed, like sitting area, and a washer dryer.
Food.
A washer. None of them have dryers there, but having, a manageable fridge, but it's like you're so close to things, but not like it's crazy to think how much square footage that we have here
Yeah,
in America. I don't know if it's the same everywhere, but like having a house on an acre of land is
yeah,
crazy to
yeah,
think
Mhm.
elsewhere like that. And just, people probably live in this and they just go about their life. Like they don't need a lot of things.
yeah. There's a lot of things about European living, like Mediterranean living, that is going to be really exciting that, we're very excited about. And it's like, Becca, you can relate to this, like van life. You're happier with less, you have less space, and so you have less stuff, and you're happier with less stuff.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I have much less stuff. I feel like I am just packing that thing full to like the brim. Ryan's been in there. It is not less stuff. I feel like
It
it
is
is
less
like,
stuff than a house, Becca. It
Well,
is
if you
less stuff.
well, if you weren't going to a place that and you could like unload it, it would be pretty tough living out of there day to day, right?
yeah, for me specifically. And I think that all that all kind of like ties back to the fact that I'm a potter, you
Yeah,
know, like choosing to do this job in a van is tough, you know.
yeah.
It's
That's
like if I didn't have the pottery, there wouldn't even need to be a garage little space under my bed.
right.
I could literally put the bed on the floor and have all that space above it just be nothing. Because I have literally most of my things, like my personal things, are in like 7 drawers.
Yep, there you
Mhm.
go. 7 drawers of stuff.
And then I have 16 bins of pottery. So,
Do
but
you like
yes,
would you leave it empty above or would you loft it?
I still like it lofted. Like
I
my
love a
friend
fucking
Sarah's
lofted
coming.
bed. Oh my
My
gosh.
I don't like it lofted because listen, I have to use 2 different size stools to get onto my bed.
Oh,
But
yeah, that's true.
because I'm
Oh.
short. But I my friend Sarah's coming and oh, this is new. I got somebody gifted me flooring that they like
Oh.
redid their house. And so I put the flooring in the back of the van because my friend Sarah's coming and so and we were trying to figure out what she was going to do sleeping wise, but there's a lot of ticks up here and didn't really want to do tent or whatever. So she's going to bring up an air mattress and just put it under my bed.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
So
it's gonna be a
like,
true bunk bed,
yeah, it'll be a true bunk bed.
kind
But
of.
yeah, but to do that, I had to take all the stuff out of my van and it's on a tarp. So I
Yeah.
have to like hope that it's not going to rain tomorrow. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, no, I living small is wonderful. Being able to give and get rid of things is wonderful.
It's been, I mean, the packing process. So many people when they move overseas will send like a shipping container full of stuff. And we chose not to do that because A, it's a bloody fortune to do that. It is so
Mm-hmm.
expensive. And B, we didn't really feel attached to like, any of our bigger items. So packing in suitcases, 10 years
Yeah.
of living, 6 people.
I couldn't imagine going through the airport with that. I
We've
mean,
got
I'm guessing you're
21,
checking a lot of it, but
we got 21 suitcases,
Oh my God.
all being checked. 6 carry-ons and 6 backpacks are coming with us on the plane.
Did you
Um,
have to like get
We're gonna
suitcases
need
from
a
other
picture.
people so you could
I will
get them
send
there and
you.
then you're gonna ship them back like whatever those dolls are that nest inside one another that you're gonna
Oh,
ship back?
we got people's like broken suitcases that they were gonna
Oh,
throw out.
nice.
And we were like, we're gonna use these once and we will throw them out for you.
Love it.
So that's what we did. And it was the choosing what's coming and what we're getting rid of was very therapeutic. Because you realize when you have an entire kitchen full of, and I love cooking and I keep a kosher kitchen, which means I have 2 sets of everything. We don't mix milk and meat products. So I've got 2 sets of pots and pans, 2 sets of cooking utensils, 2 sets of dishes, everything. So, choosing like, all right, do I need 4 meat pans and 4 dairy pans or do I need 1? And narrowing all that down was really therapeutic.
There's one thing that I also love cooking, but I haven't done as much of it being in the van. I think I probably will now just because now I can cook outside and it's quite lovely. But I started off with one 8-inch pan,
Yeah.
1 8-inch skillet, and 1 pot.
Yep.
And biggest regret of my life is just to have an 8-inch skillet. I cannot cook anything in an 8-inch skillet.
You can cook eggs in an 8-inch skillet.
Okay, yes, I can cook eggs in an 8-inch skillet. I'm not a big egg fan, but otherwise, like if I'm going to, I want to cook like curry and have like leftovers and stuff like that. And you can't do that in that size of a skillet. And so we were at IKEA and there was like a 12-inch one, and I was like, I'm getting it.
Get it. What was it called?
What?
What was the skillet called at IKEA?
It was like something like that.
Yep, I know.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the one apparently. Huh.
No, IKEA is stepping up their fucking game on their pots and pans. They have some really nice ones now. Yeah, they used to be shit.
Well, I'm gonna go and see if I do need 1 dairy pot. I've never had an 8-inch skillet. I've only ever had 12-inch.
That's fair.
But I do need a pot. I'll probably be going and buying.
Is the conversion rate with the dollars going to be better buying things there?
Oh yeah, what is it?
To help you like recuperate some of these pots and pans and other things you need to get?
Yeah, so
I would guess that's going to help you decide what to take and not.
Definitely. So it's 3.66. I just Googled shekel is the currency to $1 to $1. So however that transfers. Oh,
getting a little tea delivery or
thank you. That's so sweet. He brought me a tea. Thanks,
very
Maya.
nice.
Yeah, it's 3.5 shekel. I'm not great with I'm terrible at math in general, so figuring stuff like that out it's hard for me. But I need to not be like converting all the time. I need to just get used to what the prices are in another currency.
Right.
Let's see how much a sandwich is in Israel.
Oh my gosh. Becca's gonna love this. Freaking Aldi. Went to Aldi in God, it wasn't Lisbon.
I love Aldi.
Maybe it was Lisbon.
Aldi's great.
Lisbon.
Poor people
Aldi.
unite.
Fucking great.
Great.
I bet.
We paid like 14 euro for all this stuff. Their croissants, 39. I don't know the cents there, but
right.
It was like 39 cents, and you go to a corner cafe or whatever, and it's 2.50 or 3 euro for a croissant, and it's 39 cents.
That's amazing.
Can I just tell you, you are going to shit your pants when you find out how cheap shit is out there.
By me?
Yeah.
Oh, girl, you think I
don't know? Okay, Ryan's gonna shit his pants.
Wait, it's
and I would guess that the standard of what you're used to and kosher and all that is going to be just exactly what you're looking for, and there's more options.
So exactly. So while not
local cheese is $5.12. that means that it's only $2 and like
Well,
not even $2.
What does that
so
mean, local cheese? Is that like a
like
block?
the thing about Israel is, you know, for many things, they're not importing a lot of things. They're making
Yeah.
things. So it's like local milks and cheeses, and it's local fruits and vegetables, and it's like a much more, which I think is a lot of Mediterranean
Yeah.
countries have this kind of like farm to table is true farm to table. It's that's your
More
living. Like a friend,
self-sustaining, yeah.
yeah. So a friend was just telling me, you missed blueberry season. It lasted a week.
What?
Yep. So like blueberry season or like berry season is very short because
Mhm.
when it's ripe in the whole country, and then it's gone, and then it's just gone until next year.
Yeah.
So it's really it's a totally different way of living to what we're used to here in America. It's
Wow.
going to be a huge change for our family.
So how ha, so you've got these artists you're scheduling out for the rest of the year. How have the conversations gone? Obviously, you have to tell them like, hey, we're for one factor, we're going to be on a 7 hour time difference or whatever the time difference is to the
6, 7,
US.
yeah.
How have those conversations gone? Because it is a very collaborative effort.
Yeah.
How do you kind
Um,
of approach that?
well, I'm very transparent on my, you know, social media about the fact that I'm Jewish. Like you can tell by things that I share. So I have been saying to anyone who I'm doing workshops with, especially now, that I am Jewish, I am moving to Israel. You know, whether their workshop is going to be now, before we moved, or after. And I've had some artists choose not to work with me because of that, and some that were fine with it, and some that have mixed feelings. But I, it's difficult. It's a hard conversation. But everyone's entitled to, you know, their perspectives and their opinions of who they want to work with and all that. And I can't fault anyone for what they feel. So it's definitely been an ongoing conversation, and it'll continue to be that.
Yeah.
I'm really grateful for the opportunity to work with artists from in Europe now, because
Yeah.
that's going to be a whole new like opportunity to connect a lot of US based potters, home potters, or more experienced potters with makers from outside of the country, because
Right.
most of my workshops that I've hosted have been with artists in the US.
Was Kara the first one that was not?
Cara was the first, yep.
Had you had any Canadians as well, or just
So yeah, so had I had any Canadians? Well, I have what do I have? I gotta look back now and see if I had anyone from Canada yet. But I know that I have Beth Harden. Her workshop is coming up, and
oh, really?
yeah,
She's all the way up Yellowknife or something, right? I think
Yeah.
she's way up
Yellow-
there.
I don't know, but she's in Canada, yeah. And then I've got so I have another English potter that I'm very excited. She's going to be teaching about I'm reading it because I always get it wrong. Kurinuki,
Oh.
Mm.
which is that's going to be cool. I'm excited about that. But yeah, it's exciting to know that I can you know, reach a new audience of potters, and also you know, offer people the opportunity to learn from potters outside of the US.
Yeah. And you got a new set of challenges of people to reach out to because
Yeah.
I don't know if it's easier. Maybe it just maybe regionally I just feel like there's so many potters here, but I don't know how widespread it is and like because most of the folks are like studio potters or home potters or you know
In the
they
US.
that you've had for
Yeah.
workshops tend to be kind
Yeah.
of home potters and that kind of
Yeah.
thing. But I would suspect a lot of Europeans they have shared space, but some of them have like solo spaces. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think it's really, I mean, at least I can speak for Israel. There's tons of ceramic artists and pottery studios in Israel. Tons and tons.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's a huge, I'm like, I don't even know if I can try and breach this this market here. I'm like, I'm gonna be the outsider now. But in Europe in general, it's a huge, a huge ceramics market, and um, yeah, it's gonna be exciting.
I'm
I'm
curious
excited.
if there's differences in like whether they focus and they care more about learning about techniques or if like the business side of it. I feel like I don't know if it's more American that we're so focused on small business and the hustle and the figuring the thing. Like
Yeah,
I don't know if that's
I don't think it is.
more
Also, it's
focal
so
here
different.
than there.
It's so different. The culture outside of America is so everywhere is so different. Like that hustle that everybody is working because they need to make a living. Nobody's like throwing money around. Everybody's working with less outside, and in the US, I feel like the whole focus is about making money. And outside, where on the outside, where like living life is important to those cultures, experiencing life and trying new things and being creative. It's just a totally different experience. And I think there's a lot of hobby potters, a lot.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, do you think that like I don't even know. I don't know the history of Israel with clay as much, but would you say that like are they on uh a level of since they're not importing as much like that production pottery, like
Mhm.
the get it in, get it out, like
Mhm.
these kids only know how to make this one pot for the rest of their life type of potters, or like in like in India they do that like and it's literally like cheaper for them to make a
It's very like for function versus
Right.
aesthetic
yeah,
and
it's cheaper for them to make these bisque pots that they toss
Grow
in the
up.
garbage
Yeah, grow
than
up.
it
Right.
is to do paper.
So yeah, so
Mm.
Israel, to my understanding, doesn't have like the same like like Mexico has and India has, like where you'll see that there's like a whole city or town dedicated to just making some
Potters.
one item. From what I've seen and understand, that's not the case here, but there's like a very rich history in ceramics in general, just because of our biblical history, where
Right.
ceramic jars and things were used all the time,
mhm.
in kind of um, rituals and things like that.
Like
So
communions
yeah,
and
yeah.
like gatherings and
So it's definitely, there's a history to it, and it's fascinating. There's a lot of archaeological sites where you'll find pottery from 3,000 years ago, and it has like Hebrew letters on it. It's unbelievable. I mean, I've been to those sites and when I was a teenager, and it's like, oh my God, you can't believe it. And I want to go now as like a potter. It's even
Mhm.
more exciting, to see that
yeah.
and dig it up yourself. Um,
Yeah.
but they make a lot of their own clay. They do import clay from Germany
Hmm.
and Spain. Um, but it's hard, it's very hard to like get a hold of things. Like if they're out until like they get it back. It's not like here where we have
Right.
so much access.
There's not this
It's not like
demand. Is there as much demand
there's
for it as
demand, but
well?
it's so hard to get stuff in because it's so expensive. Everything's
Yeah.
Right.
imported. So, I mean, there are like local clays, but people prefer to use the imported ones.
Right.
They're
There's
easier.
not a bunch of people throwing 100 pots a day there, probably.
No, no, definitely not. Like I was, no, I
Unless
was
it's like
like,
a factory or something. They're making like utilitarian things,
yeah,
but I
there
would suspect
isn't.
there's not.
No, there isn't. But every college, each of the colleges have like a ceramics program. It's like really very, it's a very artistic country.
Hey,
Uh,
cool. I like that.
yeah. But right now, since I'm not throwing anyway, I'm grateful for the fact that it's like a very cafe culture country.
Yeah.
I get to like take my laptop to
hmm
whatever local cafe, kosher food.
hmm
I'm
Is
excited.
I feel
tile
like
is tile
maybe
very common?
the food might be high on your list of
Oh,
like what's exciting.
it's so high up there. It's so high. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I keep telling everybody, like in a year, you're not gonna recognize me. I'm gonna be 150 pounds heavier and so happy. But probably not, because it's much more walking. We're 5 floors up,
Oh yeah.
it's a lot of walking, a lot of hills, it's a lot of outdoor living.
Definitely not getting a dog.
Oh, so many people have dogs there. They all, like, so many. Oh
Can you
gosh,
imagine walking down 5 stories just to let your dog?
here's an elevator.
Oh, there's an elevator. It's not like New York. You have to walk up.
Well, the older buildings don't have elevators, but we're going to a newer building.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah, I had 2 requirements when we were looking for an apartment, because we're downsizing. So I was like, these are my requirements: that we have 4 bedrooms. We need 3 as a family of 6. I wanted 4 bedrooms so that we could have guests stay over. And I wanted a porch with a view. I was like, I just lived for 10 years looking out my window at somebody else's house. I want to see something else that is not just someone else's house.
I want to be able to look at people, watch people live their life.
Yeah.
Well,
But,
and like see buildings and shit, I guess.
yeah. No, there's a lot to both. And I'm really glad. I'm really excited about our view, which I will, once I share it on the socials, I'll share about our view. But yeah, so you asked about tile, Ryan. There's not a lot of tile. There's tile work and like mosaic, but it's not like what you were sharing.
Not Portugal.
No.
Tile.
No. There's a lot of old stone. A lot of buildings are made from old stone. There's actually like laws about it.
A lot of
'Cause
yellow.
it's historic nature and
Exactly.
yeah. Wow.
Yep. So that's Tuesday.
How long's the flight?
12 hours.
Okay. Are you
Well,
and you,
at least you go from one airport where you're at, right? I would suspect you're flying from New York or JFK.
Oh, yeah. I'm flying from JFK into Tel Aviv. It's a 12 hour, I think it's 12 hours one way and then like 10 and a half the other way, but we're only going one way.
how far is JFK from your house?
Well, I'm at my parents' now. I'm living at my mommy's.
Yeah, how far?
It's like 25 minutes.
Huh.
21,
Get it?
21 suitcases. We're gonna need like a all procession of cars.
Yeah. I
Just
think
get a U-Haul.
we flew into JFK for our flight to go out to Spain. I think that's the first time I've ever been to JFK. It was pretty nice.
Yeah, it's nice. Depends on the terminal that you're in.
I always fly into like LaGuardia or Newark, and LaGuardia is like super old, and Newark's okay, I
Super
guess.
bad.
So Newark's fine. So we are where we lived for 10 years is 15 minutes from Newark, and we always flew out of Newark. And it's like they've been upping their game. They have like a whole new terminal that they just built, which is nice. But you spend so little time in the actual airport. Why don't we make nicer planes with more space
Facts.
instead of nicer airports?
I don't know. The one in Paris looked pretty nice. It was the CDG one or whatever. I don't know that.
Yeah.
It looked like a plane fuselage. Like it was a long tube and it was wood, and then the air ducts looked like the little air things like in the ceiling. But it had a lot of skylights.
Are you talking about the airport?
The airport terminal, yeah.
I'm like, this sounds like the
No, it wasn't the plane I was on. No.
A wood paneled plane?
No.
The airport was nice. Yeah, but I just feel like we're spending so much more time on the plane.
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of people spend a lot of time in airports.
Really?
I mean, I
Yeah.
guess we had a 4-hour layover, 3-hour layover in Paris.
It's the layovers. That's what
I
really
mean, that's
gets
why
you,
they
because
got those fancy
see,
lounges and all that stuff,
and you live in an area that it's so easy to get everywhere from that area. Like,
You don't have to connect anywhere, pretty much.
yeah, like
Unless you're
being
flying
in,
to a small city in Europe, I guess, or small city
right,
in
like
the US.
being in the middle of the country like we are, it's like, oh, okay, you're always going to have 2 flights, pretty much.
Yeah, yep, that's true.
Yeah.
You're saying like flying domestic or flying international?
Yeah, domestic.
Oh, yeah, we hardly ever have to stop over unless we're like flying to Arizona or something. Then it's like substantially cheaper to stop over.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But we have like our airport flies everywhere direct.
Right. Like I've literally flown from Chicago to Dulles, which is in Virginia, by
Washington,
the way,
D.C.
or
Oh,
Washington,
where is
D.C.
that? Okay.
I've flown from Chicago to Dulles to Seattle.
Oh my gosh.
Like, so
No.
infuriating.
I used to sometimes do that back in the day when I was trying to get more miles, and I would fly from Cincinnati to LaGuardia to Fort Lauderdale, just
Why?
because I wanted to get more miles,
More miles. Oh my
and the
gosh.
company was paying for it.
Yeah. And LaGuardia is not a great airport though, if of all of them.
Yeah,
Of
it
all
was
of
the
them.
oldest. It's got like low ceilings. It's not bad.
Yeah, unless they've renovated it, but I don't.
It was kind of nice landing where you're at. I think it's like a nice view. It's like right in the
Well,
like,
you stopped over at JFK?
uh oh, I was talking about landing in LaGuardia. I think that's kind of in the
Oh,
middle, but we landed in JFK, yeah, for our
um,
trip to go to Spain.
yeah. They're all nice. They're like right off the water. You see Manhattan. When you're flying into like Newark, you're flying like right alongside the skyline of Manhattan. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because you're like seeing it from eye level.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway,
All right. I think that's it for today. We hit 3 hours.
I don't
I kind of like not seeing the time, but I kind of don't like not seeing the time.
wait, have you gotten my notes?
I saw your note.
I
You said
saw
we
them.
hit 3 hours 16 minutes
Yeah.
ago.
Did you know that you can go up to view and then see
Yeah.
meeting timers?
Show me.
And then
Oh, mine just says
and then
zeros though.
Mine
yeah,
says
well
zero too.
then click down and then you can go to meeting duration.
Oh, wait, but this says 3 hours, 16 minutes. Is that record?
That's since we started talking,
That's since we
probably.
started.
Okay, so we
Mhm.
didn't record until like 20 minutes in, at least.
Yeah.
It's still over 3 hours, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
We'll see.
In total.
Lots to
I
say
mean,
about shoes.
I know.
yeah, we didn't really talk about anything pottery almost at all. So
Yeah, we did.
it's just like three friends just like meeting up and
Yeah,
chatting.
that was fun though. It was nice of Clem to bring me a tea. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Very
Oh, I was
nice.
gonna ask that question. As a Jewish lady, can you Jewish lady, can you drink caffeine?
Caffeine?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Because I was gonna say you're gonna need some Red Bulls for
Yeah.
those those nights.
Coffee, all the things. Is there a culture or religion where people are not allowed to drink caffeine?
Yeah, Mormons can't drink caffeine.
Oh, we
Yeah.
don't have that one.
Is
I
that
mean, you guys,
that was the reason that they had the like soda shop but in St. George by the right?
have you heard about those? Did you hear about those? Oh my God. Okay, so Mormons can't drink hot caffeine. Okay. So they can, I don't
Drink
know
cold
why.
caffeine?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Iced coffee.
So
No.
no, I don't think they can drink coffee of any
Oh no.
sort.
Wait,
And no,
is it just the women that can't drink
nope,
caffeine? Oh,
it's
okay.
all of them. So it's gender inclusive.
Oh,
So
good.
yeah. So and so they can't I think a prophet maybe 10 years ago basically was like, no, you guys can drink pop now, but you still can't have coffee or tea that has caffeine in it. And so they started, so because like Starbucks don't do very well out in Utah, because the majority of it's like 50% live there are Mormon. Um, they have created these soda fountain drive-throughs that are just like barista drive-throughs, and they are called Dirty Soda. It's called Dirty Soda, and
That's not the
it's
brand name. That's just the like
no, that's just
generic
like
name for it.
generic name of what it's called. And Sonic just started making Dirty Soda, and it's like you've probably seen recently somebody saying like Dr. Pepper with coconut cream. Have you seen any of those
I've
videos?
seen that.
So that's what that originated in Utah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
And there's this place called Swig, and the Tilted Kiln is right next to it. And so I got addicted to pop this summer or this winter. And
It's kind of like a
literally,
cherry limeade with flavors kind of thing,
Yum.
right?
yeah, so you can get any pop, and then they have flavorings. They have like vanilla cream, they have coconut cream, they
Oh
have
my
fruit
gosh.
flavors, they have chocolate flavors, and they have like pre-made drinks that they know that are nice, like they like. And like the Texas Tab is the most popular one, which is Dr. Pepper with coconut cream and something else. And
It sounds good.
yeah. And
Wait,
so
so are
like
we going to get pop at Ensika?
yeah, fuck yeah, we are. Hell yeah. Are you gonna be there?
I plan to.
Good.
Nice.
Okay, yes, we will get pop at Ensika. It's fucking wild. Like my favorite thing is doing a Sprite with raspberry puree in it because it kind of tastes like a Shirley Temple. And then also I like the Mountain Dew. There was a Mountain Dew one with like mango puree, strawberry puree, and lime.
Wow.
Really good.
Oh my, I'm excited.
This is a little
Yeah.
fancier than the cherry limeade stand up the street from Isaac's house.
Yeah,
They've got
just
like
a little
3
bit.
flavors.
A little bit. But yeah, like they have everything. And then they'll put like energy drinks in some of them. They have this energy drink
Oh,
called Revive, and they put that in. So it's basically a Starbucks but with pop.
with
So
only cold caffeine.
Yeah.
and it sounds like the caffeine thing. That's not it. It sounds like a pretty standard across all Mormons do it. It's not like a secular versus Orthodox and only the like
I'm
certain
gonna
do
go
it,
with
or is it pretty
there's
standard across most of them?
I would say that the fundamentalist Mormons are not gonna be drinking caffeine at all. They're the ones that are like that practice polygamy. They kind of all live in the same area. They dress very conservatively. Like they look like um Amish. Like they look like Amish or Mennonite or probably like a more strict Orthodox Jew. They and like they have like communes of like tons of houses and they'll have like 18 children and stuff like that. So that was like 30 minutes away from where I was living this winter
That's so
in
interesting.
Colorado City. It's very fascinating.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really interesting.
yeah. They don't because they have such big houses and stuff, they never finish their properties. They're always unfinished, so they don't have to pay property taxes.
Oh,
I know. It's like a
that's an
workaround.
interesting loophole.
It's so wild. But yeah, so anyway, it's like
Wow.
it's those weird little things that you like learn. But yeah, Swig was one of the, like Dirty Pop was one of those things that is just like I've been telling everybody in the Midwest about it. I was like, "Have you heard of Dirty Pop?" Because I had no idea.
No. There's no shops like I don't know shops like that. It would have to be an addition to an existing
Yeah. And
business. It's not
Swig
solely
is
that.
expanding. Swig is expanding. So they'll be expanding into like different states, but I know that Sonic has caught on and they're doing it in different states. I think it's getting bigger in the South. But yeah. So if you want to make money right now, that's what you should do is start up a pop stand. Oh, and it has Sonic Ice.
Okay, so from what I'm taking, main takeaways from this podcast episode, make an Amazon shop, affiliate shop, open a soda pop
Soda
shop.
fountain drive through.
Buy Tevas.
Yep. Shave
or
your head.
on sneakers.
If you shave your head, wear glasses.
Wear glasses.
Yeah,
Tzipporah has the biggest forehead of all of us. Love that for me.
And I have the shiniest.
And you have the shiniest. And Ryan covers his with a baseball cap.
Yep.
But we all have pretty big foreheads.
Oh gosh. Any other hot takes? Buy an L&L
Kiln. Yep.
which
Plug and fire.
Plug and fire. God damn it. I so want it to be plug and play.
Plug and play. I think those were the.
And we're gonna get Tzipporah to 100 spots in
Oh,
that summit.
that would be lovely.
Do you have a coupon code that we can have? You want to make one up right now?
Oh, yeah. I'll make one right now for you. I'm gonna do it
Oh
right now.
yeah, that sounded kind of
Oh yeah.
is that
Yeah.
Canadian?
Oh
Ooh,
yeah.
oh, yeah. Um, c- wait until. Oh,
We'll
God.
put it in the show notes if they want.
Well, you can just tell me what it is and I'll make it.
Siporceramics.com, and why don't we just make it
We'll talk.
Wheel
Wheel
Talk.
Talk? Just do Wheel Talk.
Yeah.
And We'll Talk will give you 15% off your ticket price.
Can we be an emotional sponsor of your podcast?
You can be.
Of your
Thanks.
podcast? What do you mean?
Or
Of
no,
the
no,
summit?
of the summit.
Of the
We
summit.
can we be on the bottom? We just with in parentheses emotional
Emotional.
sponsor.
I'll put you in
Emotional
there.
support sponsor.
Emotional support. Well, that would be accurate. So I am making this discount right now. We've got it.
Sweet.
The Wheel Talk.
Okay. Wheel Talk is the code.
Yep, 15% off.
It's no podcast, right? Just Wheel Talk.
Just Wheel Talk
Just Wheel Talk.
Sweet.
It's August 11th, Sunday, August 11th.
with recorded
Be there
access.
or be dumb.
Well, or don't be there because there's access to the recordings for a year.
A year.
Oh damn.
I know. Yep.
All right. Well,
Alrighty.
thanks for joining us again. This is quite
Yeah.
the update since nearly a year ago.
Thanks for having me back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for chatting with us. That was so fun.
Was. Okay, bye.
All right. Thanks everybody for
Okay,
listening.
bye.
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 Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to another episode of Wheel Talk. This podcast is made possible through the contributions of all of our listeners who always ask us great questions, leave us reviews, and contact with us through social media. Thanks to all the fellow makers as well who take time to be interviewed and share about their lives and businesses.
And thank you to Ashley from Boldover Ceramics and Lindy from Lindy Garner Ceramics for their assistance on the Wheel Talk Podcast Instagram. You are invaluable. Thank you to everybody.